Welcome to sold-out Giant Stadium, and there is Herman Edwards in his first season as a head coach. Of course, his first year as the head man of the New York Jets. On the other side of the field, the opposite end of the spectrum, one of the veterans. His fourth year as the Colts head coach, his 15th as a National Football League head man. And set to kick it away is Hunter Smith of the Indianapolis Colts. He will kick it away to the two deep men for the New York Jets. 87 is Lavernius Coles. 26 is Chad Morton. Opening day is special no matter where it is, isn't it?
Boy, it is special, Greg. The excitement, as one former coach told me a little earlier before the game, this game, opening game, is the closest thing you can get to the playoffs in the NFL because the emotions are so high.
Indianapolis Colts, a playoff team a season ago. The New York Jets fell shy of the playoffs, losing their last 3 games. The last game the Jets won against these Indianapolis Colts. Hunter Smith ready to kick it away, and the 2001 season is underway. Going to come down short. This is Coles at about the 12. To the 25, room to run across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Nick Harris, Clifton Crosby in on the stop after a 25-yard return, and on to the field comes Vinny Testaverde. In his 15th season out of the University of Miami, 21 touchdown passes, 25 interceptions that led the NFL a season ago.
Everybody wants to know, can Vinny Testaverde still do it? Yes, he can. You look at him, you can see that he's in shape. 12 pounds lighter at 37 years of age, still physically very capable.
Curtis Martin floats into the backfield, and the pitch is to him. He lost the football and then recovered it back at about the 31-yard line. There's Paul Hackett, the new offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. 2nd and 15. This is Anderson. Anderson following blocking on the left side, out across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Washington and Peterson. There's defensive coordinator Vic Fangio as Testaverde brings the Colts, or brings the Jets to the line on 3rd and 3. Quick pass out of the flat intended for Curtis Martin is incomplete, and that will bring the punting unit on. Marcus Washington from his linebacker slot, putting the pressure on Testaverde.
Probably the toughest things for both teams and every team around the league today is, what is the defense going to do that's new that we didn't see during the preseason? The Colts did not blitz during the preseason. First pass by Testaverde. Here comes a blitzer. They cannot pick it up.
Rookie Tommy Parks will do the punting today. Tom Tupa still suffering from the hip flexor injury. And this is Terrence Wilkins letting it bounce at the 2-yard line and through the end zone. The touchback will mean that the Colts will start from their own 20-yard line. And here comes Peyton Manning in his 4th season out of Tennessee and just putting up numbers upon numbers. Look at the numbers from last year. More than 4,400 yards, 62.5% completion.
And what did he say to us last night, Greg? You know, I've got to complete a higher percentage of my passes. I go, what'd you hit last year? He goes, what about 62%? And I go, oh my gosh. You know, but the Colts got some new wrinkles this year. More movement, more formations, and they're going to throw the football shorter. Here's a shift to start the game.
Manning shouting to both sides of his line. Edgerrin James left side. Out across the 20 to about the 24, close to the 25-yard line. Offensive coordinator Tom Moore. Manning to throw. Over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Dilger, the tight end. To form a tough Jets secondary. 3rd and 6. Manning with plenty of time, throws over the middle and through just behind his intended receiver, Marvin Harrison, and so the Colts will have to punt.
Well, you got a little bit of jitters going for on both sides of the ball. Peyton Manning, watch Marvin Harrison, the inside receiver. Look at the hole they find in the inside, but Manning, just too much speed on the football for Marvin Harrison to come up with the catch. There's Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator from Buffalo, comes down here. Tremendous pickup by the Jets.
Smith to kick it away. Chad Morton and Kevin Swain are deep for the Jets. To the near side of the field. Morton. 35. 40. Midfield. Finally across the 40 into Colts territory, and the special teams unit, which has suffered so badly for the Jets the last few years, gets a boost on opening day. 48-yard punt, 33-yard return, and we'll be back. Chad Morton returns a punt 33 yards, and it already eclipses any punt return the Jets had last year. That's why Mike Westhoff is now in as the special teams coach. There's Chad Morton. Boy, what a spark he has been, especially since the Jets lost Santana Moss to injury in training camp.
New Orleans gave him away to the Jets, and the Jets said, okay, we'll take him.
Martin, right side. Football comes out, but the ball is blown dead just inside the 40-yard line. Rob Morris, Chad Bratsky converging.
Well, there's a lot of things we want to talk about during this game today, and one of them we're kind of seeing the start here. The Indianapolis Colts, all you hear about and read about during the offseason, can the defense hold up? Let's see if it is a fumble. And it's a fumble. But it was blown. Let me stop there. It was blown dead by the officials, so it was not replayable. But can the Colts defense be stout against the run, something they were not good at last year?
Martin coming to the left side. And not much there as he gets to about the 38-yard line. Patrolling the sidelines with us, as usual, Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, Herman Edwards said just how special this day would be for him. And today it began in a family way with his son Marcus on loan from the University of South Florida. And then on the field, a photo opportunity with Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner, and Jim Mora, the Colts. And then finally, Jesus, Greg, who's that? Looks like a family friend somewhere. Bryant Gumbel, one of the big stars for CBS. Back to you.
The good-looking Gumbel, excuse me. Just thought I'd throw this, getting going early.
I believe it's 3rd and 9. Testaverde to throw. Has time, throws down the middle, caught to the 5, touchdown, Lavernius Coles. One touchdown all last season for Lavernius Coles. He equals that in the early moments of the season.
He was the star of the preseason for the New York Jets, and he picked it up right there in the second series of the NFL season. That was against Thomas Smith, a new pickup by the Indianapolis Colts.
Tupa will hold for John Hall. The kick is good. 10:58 to play in the first quarter, and the Jets strike first. And strike it is. Testaverde to Coles, 38 yards, and a 7-0 Jets lead. Lavernius Coles down on the sideline, and he was in a celebratory mood. The Jets on top by a score of 7-0, set up by Chad Morton's fine 33-yard punt return. Testaverde, his first TD pass of the season.
Oh, that takes the pressure off. Completion, touchdown. You get it all over with in one shot.
Terrence Wilkins, running start at the 2. 15, 20, 25. Caught from behind at about the 27.5-yard line by Gerald Soule. And let's go back to the touchdown.
Young secondary makes a mistake right off the start. Adriz Bashir, rookie, way too late on the blitz. The Jets have nobody to pick him up. Look, nobody can block him, but he waits too long to get there. Chad Cotto can't get back in the way.
And as he trots over to the sideline, first Wayne Krebet says, way to go. And then Vinny Testaverde is just one happy camper as the Jets jump out to a 7-0 lead. Thomas Smith was the man one-on-one with Lavernius Coles, and he's the new arrival in the Colts camp. Manning, play fake. Throws to the far side. Complete. That'll be enough for a first down to Jerome Pathon.
You know, we talk about the Indianapolis Colts, their play-action fakes. You look at Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator. And I was going to show you that last play, but we can't because the Colts, no huddling. They want the pace of the game picked up for their offense.
Manning with more barks and gestures than any other quarterback around. Movement on the far side, and that's incomplete. Looked like Tarek Glenn made the jump, the left tackle. Our referee is Perry Havener.
Prior to the snap, number 78 on the offense, false start, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, Greg, let's go back and look at that previous play. Watch Marcus Pollard come up the seam. People are so worried about the running game of the Colts, the fake, nobody covering him. Manning decides to go outside to one-on-one coverage. But you've got to respect the running game of the Colts. That's why the play-action game is so strong.
Good pass to the near side. Aaron Glenn drew a bead on it and thought he could get there in time, but he just missed it. The completion to Harrison for 9 will make it 2nd and 6.
You know, we had a chance last night. We were talking to Peyton Manning. What was his big concern? Is this going to be Tampa Bay's defense or Ted Cottrell came from Buffalo? Which one will we see? And it's the Tampa Bay defense, same scheme.
You see the scores of the day running in your top right-hand corner of your screen, as they will all day long. Manning throws, that's complete, and hit immediately after the catch is Pathon. Marcus Coleman making the hit.
Well, this offense where they don't huddle, watch Peyton Manning and what's it look like from behind him. Nobody underneath the slant route. Nice throw to Pathon. But they started working on this type of offense last year during preseason. They had success with it last year, and they're picking right up with it again.
3rd and 2. The quick pass is complete to Marvin Harrison. It appears to be enough for the first down.
Now, you know, also talking to Tom Moore last night, what was he telling us, Greg? He says, you know, Peyton Manning, we talk about him a lot, but he loves this kind of stuff where he can direct from the line of scrimmage and bark orders to everybody and just decide what to do.
Manning over the middle has his man complete to the Jet 42 or 43-yard line, and again it's Pathon, and this time Mo Lewis makes the hit. Just one run.
Yeah. Well, the Colts, now when you do this and you pick up a first down, which they did, it is absolutely the advantage of the offense now. The defense get no break, trying to rush the passer and get tired quick.
Edgerrin James breaks around the right side, inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Damian Robinson, James Ferrier with the stop, and we have a Jet down on the field at about the 38-yard line.
Let's take a look at this run. This is why they have such a good running attack. Everybody stays on their block, but look at Edgerrin James. Aaron Glenn does not even get a hand on him when he's 1 yard away from him, and he gets those extra yards.
On the field is number 93, the rookie James Reed, defensive tackle out of Iowa State, the Jets' 7th round pick. And we have a timeout on the field, and we'll come back and check on James Reed right after this. Meanwhile, James Reed, and we can tell what happened to him.
Look at the right side of your screen, number 93, watch. Oh, you can see the hyperextension of his leg. What had happened is as he was jumping the pile, his foot caught the foot of one of the offensive players, and that made him come down a little awkward, and you could see the hyperextension of his knee.
And then number 91, newly signed Steve Martin.
He's from
his 6th season out of Missouri, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg. He's from Kansas City Chiefs, and the Jets, the big question mark about the defense, inside, they lose one of their starters already in James Reed.
Peyton Manning hit 5 straight passes to set up that 14-yard run by Edgerrin James. Play fake. Manning throws it away. Now, was he outside of the tackles?
Absolutely not. That could definitely be grounding, but it is not called. It was close, but I'm sure he was inside the tight end box.
2nd and 10.
Let's just take a look and see what let's be referees for a second. Tight end box from there to there. There it is. Peyton drops back. It's not even close. Greg, you were right.
Oh. It's all right. It's opening day. It's early yet.
No receiver was near the ball once he threw it, even though it did go past the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 10, Manning throws far side. That's complete to Terrence Wilkins, and Wilkins hit hard immediately by Marcus Coleman and Ferrier. Pickup of 7. It'll be 3rd and 3. You know, in addition to the coaches and the players feeling the pressures of opening day, you know the officials, these replacement officials, are feeling it as well.
Oh, absolutely. You got to be a little reluctant to throw the flags in certain situations, and I think that grounding call was one of them.
3rd and 3.
You know, you get tired watching Peyton Manning. He does so much work before every play.
Rick Lyle with the stop. A pickup of 1 will make it 4th and 2. And onto the field will come the field goal unit and the very accurate leg of Mike Vanderjagt.
You know, the Colts did call a good play there. They had a little run up inside against a defense that was going to blitz from the outside, but the Jets just athletically were better in that play. That's why they stopped it.
Vanderjagt has hit 51 of his last 53 field goals. This one from 37 yards out. The kick is away, and it is good. 6 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Colts are on the board, 7-3 Jets. Jets are deep for the kickoff. Meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts get on the board after going 53 yards in 10 plays. The Vanderjagt field goal has them on the board. They trail 7-3. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan at the Meadowlands. Lavernius Coles and Chad Morton are deep. This is a very short kick. And on the run is Coles. Coles at the 20. And not much room to maneuver to the 23-yard line. First down, Jets. The pitch for Curtis Martin. Pushed out of bounds at about the 26-yard line by the rookie, Idris Bashir.
You know what surprised me so far today in this game? The Indianapolis Colts. We haven't talked much about it yet. All the new starters they got, new defensive linemen, new secondary people, you know, linebackers making their first start. They come out in the first 2 series. Testaverde throws a touchdown against the blitz. Very aggressive, taking chances. And I would think with new players, it would be the opposite. Play safe, make the Jets make a lot of plays to score. Instead, they let them hit the big play, and that's why they're behind.
Effective motion on the end around Coles. Coles coming up on the cornerback and is pushed out of bounds by Jeff Burris. 16 yards and a first down.
Well, most people in the NFL try to deceive you in the passing game. In other words, trick you and throw the ball down the field. So far, watch, you'll see Lavernius Coles come from the left to the right. The defense, nobody backside. Oh, they gave it to Curtis Martin. You're wrong. But the Jets are deceiving the Colts so far with the running game. A lot of misdirection, taking advantage of the fact that Curtis Martin ran for 203 yards against his team last year.
Curtis with just 4 carries and 4 yards over the middle, and Trebek hit just as the ball arrived, and it falls incomplete.
Wow.
David Macklin, number 27, with the hit.
Nice throw, but really good recognition by David Macklin. Every team in the league runs this play, and it used to be it would be wide open because David Macklin's receiver ran deep, but he knows this type of action. He lets his guy go. He comes off, looks for Wayne Corbett, and makes a nice play.
Free agent pickup Matthew Hatchett is in the game now for the Jets on 2nd and 10. It was Martin, and Martin fights his way across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Talk about that last performance with Curtis Martin. The Colts know he's the man that they have to stop, much as the Jets know that, you know, they've got to come out here and stop Edgerrin James first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely. Curtis Martin, we were talking to him on Friday, and all you read about every year, The New York Jets. We're going to take some of the load off Curtis Martin. And what did he say to us? He just laughed. He goes, yeah, we'll see. But, you know, even he knows. When you're making good yards like he does, you can't help but turn around and just keep giving it to him.
In 12 career games against the Colts, Martin has rung up 7 100-yard rushing games. Testaverde. Under pressure, throws incomplete. Hatchett was the closest receiver.
Now, to me, a much better defensive series. The up front people for the Colts can do a good job, put some pressure on Testaverde. There's Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator. But they didn't take any chances. Let the athletes run. Don't make them, you know, have to cover somebody down the field one-on-one, especially early in the game, and their first, a lot of guys' first starts in the National Football League.
Rookie snapper in James Dirth, rookie kicker in Tommy Parks. And this is Wilkins from the 16-yard line. Shakes off the tackle and almost reaches the 25 before Kelvin Moses brings him down. 39-yard kick and a 9-yard return. We are under 4.5 to play in the first quarter. And we'll be right back.
Field position so far today.
Pitch to James, and James is brought down to the 20-yard line by John Abraham. Let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, if Peyton Manning had a nickname, it might well be Mr. Perfect. He believes you can't watch enough tape, you can't do enough things in the summer to get your team better. But Adam Meadows says, you know, it can get a little obnoxious at times. Friday at practice, he said Peyton lost his mind when we messed up a play, and he said, hey, Peyton, don't worry, we're going to do it again. Well, back to you.
All right, Armin, Manning to throw. Has time, throws, incomplete, and an official was right in the middle of that. Number 91, Steve Martin, helping apply a little pressure. It'll be 3rd and 14.
Yeah, you know, just to relate back to Armin's story, Adam Meadows also said to Peyton, relax, it's practice. You know, so he is intense. And, you know, having a chance to talk to Tom Moore as you look at Adam Meadows, they play to that. They know he's intense. That's why they run the hurry-up offense. They let him check off because that's what he wants to do. And when he's the best player in your team, sometimes you gotta let them do what they're good at.
3rd and 14. Pass is complete to the 35-yard line to Marvin Harrison. And that's right at the first down marker. That's enough for a first down.
You ever hear this statement? That's what he brings that the other guy doesn't. Well, that pass is what Peyton Manning can bring to a team. He stood there, he's 6'6", people in his face, and he still could fire it down the field 15 yards to get the completion and a first down. We're at the IV Peyton at halftime.
James trying to spin and go the other way and nowhere to go. Mo Lewis, Marvin Jones combined for a loss of 2 on the play, and it's 2nd and 12.
Yeah, you're right. The first name is the name. Mo Lewis, watch on the edge. Number 57 just comes up and just blows up the blocker and gets in the way. Now there's no room or space for Edgerrin James to make that cut.
Mo Lewis in his 11th outstanding season. Manning flips to James. And James dragged down just across the 40-yard line by Ferrier, the outside linebacker. As we come up on 2.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter, 7-yard gain will make it 3rd and 5. And Manning going back to work. In addition to the IV, he's going to be hoarse at halftime.
I know, and I tell you what, it's just hectic, and you know, you got to like it. I like it. I like watching it.
Without a huddle, he has plenty of time.
Look at all these signals.
Manning throws over the middle. Dilger inside the 40 for a first down.
Oh, man, what a play. That's just everything. Execution by the Colts offense does it. And Manning waits as long as he possibly could wait to throw the football to Dilger down the field. Steve Martin, the new acquisition, was all over Manning, knocked him to the ground.
Prior to snap, you see Manning yelling things at Marvin Harrison, and then he throws to Ken Dilger.
He's a liar.
This is Edgerrin James, and nowhere to run, and James tries the left side.
But you know what this hurry-up offense does? It keeps the New York Jets. It makes them keep the same 11 players on the field. So no matter what the situation, Tom Moore and Peyton Manning go, well, there's only so many defenses they can play. You don't get into all those substitutions and where it can get really difficult for a quarterback and the offense. It takes a lot of work and a lot of practice to get good at this, especially on the road.
Manning, fake, throws, incomplete. Dilger and number 55, Marvin Jones, in a collision out here on the near side of the field. The pass falls incomplete. Clock stops with 49 seconds to play in the first quarter.
You know, people say things, you look at Jim Mora. How often do you get that? Well, the Colts, Jim Mora. You know, I just go, well, what do you mean? What do you want the Colts to do? They have one of the most exciting offenses in football. You know, the defense gambles, it takes chances. You know, the perception that Jim Mora is a cautious coach it's a bad perception.
Colts have had the football more often than not from the shotgun. Manning with lots of time throws near side. Marcus Pollard, his first catch inside the 30-yard line, diving for the first down marker.
Just short. Big decision for the Colts.
Manning says he wants to go for it.
I think they'll go for it. Make them measure it to see how short it is, and then start of the second quarter, you get out there and no. Try to check out the clocks. They're going to do it this quarter because the play clock.
Clock moving now, and they won't get a play off before the first quarter expires.
No, they're going to call timeout. This is. Yeah. There's about a half-second difference, Craig, so I guess that's not enough to really register.
Well, we have a whistle, but the players aren't moving. But there's no time left, and now.
There we go.
I believe the first quarter is officially ended. That is the end of the first quarter with our score. The Jets 7 and the Colts 3, and we'll come back to the Meadowlands right after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Still halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry have scores and highlights and a preview of the U.S. Open men's final between 4th seed Leighton Hewitt, 10th seed Pete Sampras. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Start of the second quarter. 4th and 1 for Manning and the Colts. James Reed is back on the field at defensive tackle. James, first down and more to the end zone, touchdown. 29 yards on 4th and 1, and the Colts take the lead.
I'm not sure if the Colts call that play at the line of scrimmage. I believe they do. Manning waits to see what kind of front they're in, and so many times in this league now, nobody can get these crucial situations running the football. Look at this. Colts right at you. Coming up there, and everybody's crowding the line of scrimmage. They're so close. When Edgerrin James gets by, nobody there to make the tackle.
Vanderjagt will look for the extra point out of Hunter Smith's hold, and he's got it. Edgerrin James in 2 seasons and 1 game, 27 rushing touchdowns, 36 overall, 10-7 Indianapolis. Edgerrin James jumped up to 44 yards rushing in a hurry with that touchdown run of 29 yards, capped a 75-yard drive, and the Colts with a 10-7 lead. On that drive, the Colts converted 2 third downs, and the TD run was on a 4th down.
You know, the one thing I like about the Colts are doing, I thought last year teams slowed the tempo of the game down so slow that sometimes it hurt the Colts offense, so maybe it's up to them to keep it moving more. Keep the pace of the game fast.
From the 8 is Chad Morton. And down at the 25-yard line. 17-yard return, and here's the touchdown.
Yeah, if you want to see perfection, just watch this. Steve McKinney, the guard's going to pull out, come around. Watch Jim Finn, the fullback, 36. Watch the block. Knocks Marcus Coleman out. McKinney comes around. Terrific block by the tight end, Ken Dilger. And that is absolutely perfect. Look at Mo Lewis. Number 57 gets pushed down. That's Marcus Pollard that gets him. I'm sorry, I said Ken Dilger. It's Marcus Pollard. Now look at him. Mo Lewis is
not pleased.
Yes, he is hot.
It feels like forever since Testaverde and the Jets have had the football on offense. First down from their own 25-yard line. Martin is dragged down for a loss on the play of a yard.
Chad Brasky thought he was hurt there the way he laid down for a second. But you know, Greg, the one thing when I look at this Colts defense, it is, look at all the people running in the game. They got all these, they're deeper, they're faster. They definitely have a chance. If they can just get better, who knows what that's going to do to the overall makeup of their team. It just also make their offense a lot better too, because they'll get the ball more frequently and in better position.
Martin to about the 28. Let's face it, the big topic of conversation when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts is their defense, and the question is whether or not their offense can outscore whatever the defense was going to give up.
I got to tell you, last night we're in a meeting. Jim Moore walks in. Go ahead. What's the first thing you said to him?
I said, we're not going to ask you about how's your defense. I want to know how many times you've been asked, how's your defense?
Oh, and he loved it. He goes, oh my gosh, he just went crazy. He goes, that's all people talk about.
3rd and 6. Testaverde looking for a first down, and his intended receiver, Richie Anderson, turned the wrong way. He went inside, the pass was outside, and the Jets will have to kick it.
And Mike Peterson, a young linebacker, very talented, fast, can cover down the field. There you see number 52. That's, to me, that could be the big difference for the Colts.
160 tackles, led his team in tackles a year ago.
Linebackers are younger, faster, eager. Talked to Marcus Washington, one of them last night. He couldn't wait to make his first start today.
Parks with the kick. Wilkins from his 18. 25, 30, and down at about the 33-yard line. Chris Hayes makes the top. 53-yard punt and a 15-yard return, and we'll be right back. Well, we've been talking about that Indianapolis defense, but it's up to this Jet defense to try to figure out how to put the clamps on Peyton Manning. The last 2 drives have been 20 plays, and they had the ball more than 9 minutes. Manning gives to Edgerrin James. James is dragged down by Marvin Jones. Pickup of 2 on the play will make it 2nd and 8. There's Tom Moore. What a line he had to start our meeting off last night. You said, well, we're ready to go again. And he said, let the second guessing begin.
That's right, because he doesn't care. But the Colts keep up with the hurry-up offense. Or I should say the no huddle. It's not really a hurry-up.
Manning throws this side. That's complete. Pavement skips 2 tackles and close to the 50-yard line, out to the 48 of the Colts. And there's a penalty marker down in the backfield.
Let's see. Well, look at Manning. He's going up there talking to somebody. He's talking to Ferrier. Well, it's got to be a late hit the way they're all standing.
Got a personal foul, roughing the passer, number 58 on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Just who Peyton Manning was talking to.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see it. I was too busy looking down the field. Look to the outside. Oh, yeah, that is. You're right. I think the league might have something to say to James Ferrier this week.
You don't look kindly on shots to the knees of the quarterback, especially when the ball has been gone that long.
I'll change a little different, though. Once I see the other angle, he could not tell maybe if Peyton Manning had thrown it, but still, when you go down below the knees against the quarterbacks.
On first down, James. Run out of bounds short of the 30-yard line by John Abraham. You can understand Peyton Manning being a little antsy about his knees because in the preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings
2 weeks ago, Chris Hovan comes from the outside, and that was close. That's a season ender, and it's just like an inch away from being a season-ending injury to Peyton Manning. That's why he's probably very sensitive to being hit low.
Right knee and ankle sprain. Quick pass to the side. Jerome Paython inside the 25-yard line to about the 23 or 22. Mo Lewis tripped him up.
Well, we're seeing a lot of new stuff from the Indianapolis Colts. Formations, a little more movement, and a shorter passing game. Something that Peyton Manning told us last night that they will incorporate some this year, and they really want to use it against the Jets.
This is James again, left side, inside the 20-yard line. Marcus Coleman tripped him up. Meanwhile, clock continues to move, and the Colts continue to pile up yardage up and down the field.
And Greg, I was going to say, they really like to use this against the Jet defense because the Jets defense is geared to stop big plays. Boy, look at that last year. 20 touchdowns, no interceptions in the red zone. I'm about to recheck our statistician. Is that really true?
That's absolutely right. No interceptions, 20 touchdowns. Clock is stopped with 11:14 to play here in the first half. Peyton Manning taking a breather. Write that down somewhere. That's news. 2nd and 5. Dilger in motion. Manning rolling. Looking, and throws it away. So it'll be 3rd and 5.
Well, Greg, I was talking about, and Peyton Manning said to us, we're going to throw it shorter, something we didn't do enough of last year. He has 12 completions today. Only one is longer than 15 yards.
Keep this in mind, too. He is without the Colts' first-round draft pick, Reggie Wayne, the rookie out of Miami.
Yep.
Who has a high ankle sprain, is being held out of this game, and they hope he'll see action next week. 3rd and 5. Manning throws far side, complete to Dilger. Dilger has a first down inside the 15-yard line. Ferrier made the stop, but not before Dilger picked up 7 yards and a first down.
Well, you know what this is? This is just a quarterback who's thrown a lot of passes, and he realizes a defensive player is not going to turn and look. So even though it doesn't look like he's open, he throws it. James Ferrier never turns around. It's a completion, and Dilger knows, to his credit, where he had to go to get that first down.
From the 11. James spins inside the 10 to the 9. Pickup of 2, it's 2nd and 8. And when Edgerrin James has had the chance to run the football, of course he had the big run on 4th down for the touchdown, but 64 total yards. It's better than his last outing last time he was here against the Jets last December.
Yeah, it is. Well, only reason because that outing last year was no good. Great. They fell behind. They couldn't keep running the football, but Edgerrin James didn't stay in Indianapolis all this offseason and work out, but you can tell he's in shape. He is still one of the best running backs in the National Football League, and he can do it all.
Manning throws. Intercepted in the end zone. Marvin Jones. Now he lost the football, and Manning falls on it at the 22-yard line.
Well, I spoke too soon. Edgerrin James can do it all. Perfect pass from Peyton Manning. It's a touchdown. He drops it. Interception. And then Marvin Jones. Watch this go right through the hands of Edgerrin James. Oh, Marvin Jones makes the interception. Doing something he's not used to doing. And that's carrying the football and not even hit. Trying to catch his balance, and that's what makes him lose the football. Watch him as he tries to shit. Oh, boy, trying to catch his balance. Football comes out of his hands.
So Manning and the Colts with a first down. And there is an unusual red zone interception on Peyton Manning. Here's James, left side. 15, 10, still on his feet to the 5. Finally dragged down at about the 2.5-yard line. Lewis and Aaron Glenn, and here come the boos from the Jets fans.
Well, Edgerrin James had motivation because he knew he was going to hear it from a lot of people missing that touchdown throw, but nice blocking up front. Dilger again. Tarek Glenn, good block. The whole Indianapolis Colts, and Marvin Harrison staying with Aaron Glenn and just allowing Edgerrin James to pick up all the extra yards after he breaks through the line of scrimmage. And boy, that is good team effort by the Colts offense.
Coming up on 9 minutes to play in the first half. 1st and goal from the 2. Jim Finn back in to do some blocking. Straight ahead, James to about the half-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 1, 2nd and goal. Edgerrin James down here becomes the workhorse just as he is around the rest of the field.
Longest run in his first 4 games for 20 yards. Today, he already has 2. So that's the Jets' run defense was a big question mark coming in this game, and we know why now.
James straight ahead, looking for the end zone. No call yet.
You know what? I want to see this one from the side, because it looked like to me a couple times he was over the goal line. Some part of that ball. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if he ever gets to the goal line. Oh, right there. I believe he was over. Oh, there he's over there.
Edgerrin just chalked up 2 touchdowns on 1 play.
Now you can replay that.
3rd and goal. Pollard in motion.
I say they throw it.
James is time into the end zone for the touchdown.
I say I'm wrong. But that was a good job. The Colts just lining up, going against the interior, looking from the blimp cam from high above, and they're winning the battle. Oh, nice block again by Jim Finn and Ken Dilger, the tight end.
Well, you mentioned it, Phil. The Indianapolis defense is not the only suspect defense on the field today. Every time we talked to Herman Edwards, he was pleased with the way the West Coast offense was developing, and he always termed the defense a work in progress.
Yeah, he was worried about the run defense.
The extra point is good. A very quiet Meadowlands crowd after the Jets jumped on top. They have now fallen behind by 10, 17-7 Indy.
But the Colts, how about the pace that they're sitting on offense? It was one of the things I thought they should do more of before the season started, and man, oh man, the first game.
Lavernius Cole will take this one at 6. Good 20. 25, trying to get outside, slips in the slow, goes out of bounds at about the 28-yard line.
Look at that graphic just showing what the teams have done on offense. But the U.S. Open, fun to watch. Watched quite a bit of it this past week.
Testaverde trying to get the offense back on track again. Quick pass over the middle is complete. Martin breaks 1 tackle across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Mike Peterson with the stop.
Let's take a look from the blimp cam. Marcus Pollard. Watch Jim Finn, his lead block. Then the tight end outside, Ken Dilger. Watch what they all do. Seal to the inside, kick to the outside, and Edgerrin James just runs them over.
And then afterwards, on the sideline, Marvin Jones. We talked to him yesterday, and I guarantee you he was in a better mood, or 2 days ago. He was in a better mood 2 days ago than he is right now.
Yeah, that's just, well, look, he was put into an environment that he's not used to, and that's running with the football. Didn't protect it.
2nd and 1. And a whistle blows on the snap. Marker is down. There'll be a false start against the Jets. We asked Jim Mora last night, does he give much thought about the situation?
Prior to the snap, number 77 on the offense, false start, replay, 2nd down.
Regarding the replacement officials, and he said no, not really, because both teams have to play under the circumstances, and there's nothing he can do about it anyway.
Yeah, that was, I guess surprising. He goes, there's nothing I can do, and I'm not worrying about it. And he goes, that seems to be the thought that most NFL coaches were having going into this game, that there's just nothing you can do. Don't be concerned with it, and just hope that the calls don't go too much against you.
That was only the 3rd penalty call today by this officiating crew. On the draw, Martin breaks it outside, across the 40, 1st down, out to the 44. Chad Cota dragged him down.
Something you saw plenty of times last year when you watched the New York Jets. Curtis Martin, the best draw runner in the National Football League. When it's a fake pass and that ball is handed to him, he is terrific. And one of the reasons is because when it's a draw, the defense thinks it's a pass, so it creates more space. And he's the kind of runner that is a dodger. He can make people miss, so he picks up, instead of 5 yards, he gets 12 and 15 yards off those draw plays.
That 11-yard pickup, his longest run today. First down, Jets, their own 44. Martin again dodged a tackle there in the backfield, but still looked like he lost maybe a yard. No gain on the play, we'll say, and it's 2nd and 10. Ellis Johnson making the stop.
Boy, Chad Bratsky, number 92, came down from the left side of the offense and makes the tackle. And every time he makes a tackle, let's just watch him if we can. He comes in and makes the tackle. After he makes the tackle on the top, watch him come in. And as he makes the hit, he'll make the hit and he'll lay on the ground. So you see the pain. You can see he's in some type of pain. That's the 3rd time I've seen him do that today.
Testaverde, quick pass out to the side. That's complete. Richie Anderson. And Anderson across midfield and into Indianapolis territory.
Nice play by the Jets. I think the big thing here is Paul Hackett, the offensive coordinator, as you're calling plays, and Herman Edwards. See a screen play to the outside. It's really like a run and well blocked by the Jets. Can you stay patient? Can you stay with what you said you're going to do? That you want to be a running football team, a real precise passing team. And when you get down, especially to the Colts, hard to stay patient.
3rd and 1. Play fake. Testaverde waits, and is going to run out of time and run out of room and runs out of bounds. Held onto it instead of throwing it away. That's registered as a sack by Marcus Washington.
Well, the Jets had planned this probably all during the week. Look at it. Testaverde's going to make the fake. One receiver goes out. So they're hoping the corner comes up. He comes up, but oh, no. He goes, I see, it's a pass. And look, covers the one receiver down the field. Because if they'd have got that corner up, it was a touchdown. So the Jets saw the perfect spot to go for the shot and the touchdown. And the Colts were ready for it.
Testaverde sacked only 13 times last year. First time today. Parks his punt. Wilkins dropped the football. Loose ball in near the 5. The Jets say they have it. And they do. Nick Ferguson. Boy, that'll change a mood in the locker room at halftime, won't it?
Oh, that's a game changer. Well, we've seen a couple big breaks. Marvin Jones drops the interception. And then Terrence Wilkins, I think that Jim Mora was really upset. Of course, he would be on any fumble. But maybe what got him even more upset is the fact that Terrence Wilkins was near his 5-yard line and catching a punt. Generally, the rule is feet on a 10. If you have to take a step back, let it go.
Mike Westhoff will give some kudos to that special teams play. The hit and the recovery by Ferguson. 1st and goal for the Jets. Martin cuts it back the other way to the end zone. Touchdown! Curtis Martin dragged 2 defenders the last couple of yards into the end zone.
The Jets are running the football when they have success, draw plays, and then running against the grain. In other words, Curtis Martin was going left and cuts it back to the right. The Colts, they're a young team. They're over-pursuing just a little bit, and that's causing the holes in the defense to be there for Curtis Martin when he changed directions.
Jim Mora having conversations on the near side with a couple of the officials, including referee Perry Havener.
Yeah, the buzzer went off, said maybe he wants a replay, but apparently it was just a mistake.
And we understand that the Colts
77, 85, 71, 95. Reported.
Now Perry Havener is just talking about the substitutions here.
Yeah, the buzzer went off, Greg, but Jim Moore told him I didn't challenge the play.
So John Hall on for the extra point. And it is good. 3.5 minutes to play here in the first half. And Curtis Martin, brute strength, carrying two guys with him, cuts the Colt lead to 3. The first half, Terrence Wilkins lost the football deep in his own territory, and the breaks here in the first half have evened out.
Yeah, I guess you could say they have, Greg. And you know, when the football game, all the planning, all the work the coaches do, that's what's so frustrating. An interception, a drop pass, an interception, a fumble that probably shouldn't have happened, and then a fumble on a punt return is. Those are the type of mistakes you'd like to think you can avoid, but not in this game.
The maestro.
Just in case you want to, that's really not Bruce Harper. So
I had an inkling.
did you? Okay. Exciting first half, though. Just what you would think and hope for an opening day game.
John Hall kicks it away. Dominic Rhodes from a few yards inside the end zone. And is dropped just short of the 20-yard line by Gerald Soule, who makes yet another special teams tackle. So onto the field comes Manning. Take a look at the numbers that Manning has put up. 13 of 20 for 120 yards and a touchdown. Testaverde 3 of 7 for 56 in the interception. We were talking with Herman Edwards on Friday, and he said in the last 2 minutes of a half, in the last 2 minutes of a game, I'd sure prefer us to have the ball rather than Peyton Manning. James. And John Abraham, coming off his defensive end position, makes the stop. And everybody, I mean everybody, talking about the speed that John Abraham brings to the defensive end position.
That's the first time you mentioned his name today, Greg, and the style of offense the Colts have used, they have rendered John Abraham just non-existent because of the speed they're calling plays and running them has really limited him as a factor in the pass rushing game.
On 2nd and 8, Manning pump fakes, now throws over the middle, has his man across the 40-yard line, Marcus Pollard. That's enough for a first down.
Wow, that was really interesting. He pumped way to the outside, and then Marcus Pollard was wide open in the middle of the field.
"20 seconds until the 2-minute warning. Colts with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. They give it to James. James, a little hesitation, and is out to about the 44. Jones and Martin with the stop after a 3-yard pickup, and that will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Manning comes over to confer. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Colts by 3, and we'll be back. Had breakfast with Mike Ditka yesterday morning. He beat me up and then said, have a nice weekend.
Who paid?
I did.
Wow.
Manning throws this side, complete and out of bounds is number 80, Terrence Wilkins.
Greg, you said earlier that the Indianapolis Colts, they drafted Reggie Wayne, a wide receiver from Miami, and Peyton Manning just said the one thing it's done. Jerome Pathan and Terrence Wilkins, they know now there's another guy to compete for playing time, and he says during training camp, they really picked it up much better than they have been in previous years, and you can see Terrence Wilkins, he can be a terrific route runner.
First down Colts at the Jet 44. Manning comes out of there on the run. heading for the sideline and is out of bounds at the 35. No signs of a sprained knee on that scamper, was there?
No, you're looking at Herman Edwards, but Manning just has an unbelievable, uncanny ability to know when to move, when to hang in there. He hung in there a couple times today, took the hit, completes the pass. That time, no hesitation, got out of there immediately and picks up 9 yards.
You hear about quarterbacks with a clock going in their heads. Were you counting to yourself?
Well, no, not counting. It's just a feel you have, Greg. It's just a God-given ability, I think, and I don't want to beat it to death, but he's got more of it than most people have.
Penalty markers fly. It appears that the play clock expired.
Oh, that's a killer. That's always the quarterback's fault. Delay a game is nobody's responsibility but the quarterback's.
Prior to the snap, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
You know what happened? They huddled up. Peyton was out of rhythm.
Yeah, he was out of rhythm. But just one last time to talk about this no huddle and all the checking off and all the things they do it because of Peyton Manning, because they know that's what he likes. And Tom Moore says, hey, that's my job, to make sure I get the best out of him as a quarterback. So you do these type of things.
Manning to the far side and has his man, Marvin Harrison, complete and out of bounds. Stops the clock with 1:46. This is the 5th consecutive drive by the Colts that has found them in Jets territory.
Did you see that? That was a tough throw for the pickup of those few yards. Not many teams, and trust me when I say this, not many quarterbacks are going to stand in the middle and rip this ball to the sideline with Aaron Glenn being the corner and closing hard.
Here's Edgerrin James back to the ground game to the 25 and pulling his way forward to the 21-yard line.
Well, we talk about Edgerrin James, Marvin Harris, Peyton Manning, but this offensive line, that time Steve McKinney, number 76, again with a terrific block.
Colts use their first timeout. Minute 34 to play. We're coming back. Unheralded offensive line. You said it earlier, Phil.
Oh, it's so unheralded. Watch him, number 76, coming around. Mo Lewis, 57. Boom. That is head inside. Body drives Mo Lewis outside. The runner cuts in. That is another picture perfect block by Steve McKinney.
You brought it up a couple of times last night to the Colts. None of these offensive linemen made the Pro Bowl. Someone's blocking for Edgerrin James.
Yeah, somebody's blocking for Peyton Manning. That's right.
Peyton pump fakes, throws to the end zone, touchdown. Jerome Payton into the air to make the catch at the goal line. A 21-yarder, and the Colts stretch their lead.
Well, Herman Edwards is right. Don't give it to Peyton Manning in the last 2 minutes. And again, look right, pump it. Give your backside receiver just an extra half a second to make a move, and Payton does the job. He wasn't wide open either. That was thrown between two defenders. Perfect throw and a good tough catch in the end zone.
Vanderjagt's kick is good. And that gives the Colts again a 10-point lead. This time at 24-14 as the Colts march 80 yards in just over 2 minutes.
Watch it, looking right, pump it. Look at Ferrier. He gets torn up. He's not back there, and that throw right over the head of Ray Mickens, 24, and in front of Damian Robinson. Boy, that is perfect. A nice fake, and it spins around. You saw what it did to the defense.
And Manning says, yeah.
Yeah, should have had a couple already. That's what he's saying. But boy, again, the Colts so aggressive. We did a lot of their games last year, Greg. This is the most aggressive I have ever seen them come out and play a football game on offense.
Well, one thing they're doing today is they're giving future opponents an awful lot to think about in the weeks to come.
Yep. And as I was watching the Jets at the end of the first half, whenever that timeout was called, the defense, they're all just standing there. There's no emotion because the plays are just happening one after another, so they don't get that rest. And we talk about it all the time. In a hurry-up situation, who does it affect most? Defensive linemen. they get tired. They're big.
All of those guys on the Jets sideline who thought they were going to see some action on 2nd and 3rd down aren't getting into the game.
They can't get in the game. That's right. No substitutions.
Colts figured Hunter Smith could do their kicking off. Danny Kite was the man who kicked it long last year. Jim Morris says that we're going to lose some yardage with Hunter Smith, but we can get by.
He says every once in a while he really just nails it, but then he misses a lot of them short too. So I didn't know what to take out of that. And today he's been kicking it
short,
pretty short.
But the Colts lead it by 10. 1:29 to play. Jets with 2 timeouts remaining. Coles and Morton are deep. This is very short. This one taken at about the 22-yard line by James Dirth. Dirth was intended to be a blocker. Instead, he's a ball carrier. So the Jets, 70 yards away from the end zone. They go with 4 wide receivers. 1:24 to play in the first half.
Hey, look, check down.
Flip to Curtis Martin. Martin tripped up as he was trying to get up ahead of speed by Ellis Johnson. Martin threw a block at the line of scrimmage, sprung free, took the pass, but didn't get much. 2nd and 9, and now the Jets in a hurry up. Testaverde scampering, pulled down from behind at the 35 by Marcus Washington.
No question, when you watch Testaverde, he is absolutely more nimble and in better shape and just a better quarterback physically than he was last year. That play, really good movement by him.
Testaverde throws this side incomplete, intended for Matthew Hatchett.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're booing, but that was a good throw, because if he made a good throw to the receiver, it was going to be intercepted.
So that'll bring on the punting unit. And if the Jets aren't really careful, Peyton Manning's going to have a chance to do something with some time on the clock.
Well, they're going to need, the Colts still have 2 timeouts, so a lot will depend on this return. I would think if they get past the 30-yard line, they're going to come out and try to see if they can force it down the field again.
Parks hangs this one up. Wilkins takes it at the 22, 25, 35, and here goes Terrence Wilkins. Right up the middle of the field. No one will catch him from behind, and it's a touchdown. "78 yards.
Special teams, such a sore spot with the Jets last year. They started out terrific today, a couple good returns, and that time Terrence Wilkins, one of the best returners in the league. When he gets in open space past that first wave of tacklers, tough to catch and bring down.
Fumbled the punt at the 5-yard line that the Jets turned into a touchdown. I'd say that makes amends.
Yeah, that does. That's right.
Vanderjagt. And the extra point is good. 20 seconds remaining in the first half. It's 31-14 Colts.
Let's just watch it. Terrence Wilkins, from his eyes, missing the first man. And there, once it gets to there, look out. It's going to be hard to tie. Tommy Parks does a good job, gets his hands on him, but James Ferrier, you are not going to catch Terrence Wilkins. But you always watch this in special teams, and those returners, once they get about 10 to 15 yards up the field, then you have to look out, and there were just no Jets around. They were all to the outside.
These Colts have won 8 of the last 11 meetings against the Jets here in New Jersey.
Special teams, we don't talk about it enough in broadcast, and we don't give it enough credence, and look what's happened today. Just look at some of the numbers. Punters are good. Return yards, the Colts 152. This is pretty even. This field position. But boy, when you score off of a special teams play, I forgot the numbers. I remember we used to hear it all the time from my coach. you win the game like 88% of the time. It's like it's a play in a game that's hard for the opposing team to overcome.
So what looked like might be a pretty cheerful trip to the locker room for the Jets, that was about 2 touchdowns ago, though.
Yeah, just think about that, Greg. 3 minutes and 30 seconds ago, 17-14. You've got it turned around. All of a sudden, it's 31-14. Game plans have to change now when you're down this much.
Coles and Martin are deep. Morton. And they get their signals crossed, and now picking it up at the 8-yard line is Chad Morton, looking for places to go, and there's nowhere to go. And he's down at about the 12 or 13-yard line. Jim Finn in on the stop. We remind you, you can get in the game. Register today for all levels of fantasy football, from novice to expert. Click on Free Fantasy at cbs.sportsline.com, or your AOL keyword is CBS Sportsline.
I was telling you, Greg, you know, the Jets will almost assuredly have to change the way they play offense in the second half, and probably the way they're playing defense.
Martin on the draw. 20. And hit from behind and smacked down at the 30-yard line. Chucky Nukori, third-year defensive end out of Purdue. And the Jets call timeout and stop the clock with 6 seconds to play. Keep in mind, too, the New York Jets have undergone a change in scheme on defense this year. For years, they were 3-4 defense, and now a 4-3.
And there's Ted Cottrell, defensive coordinator. Look at last year, total defense. They gave up 300 yards a game last year, and today already 284. When you cross in the NFL, when you go over 300 yards, you've done that's like an acceptable day's work for an offense. So when you get 284 in the first half, you're thinking about setting some records.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the reaction of this Jets team in the second half, and certainly Herman Edwards has his work cut out for him as a head coach, to what he'll go in and say and do at the break.
Second half, you come out, you play the game the way, almost like it's maybe 0-0 for a while, Greg, but after a series or two, if it doesn't change, you've got to turn and be more aggressive on both sides of the ball.
They run the football and trot off the field to the boos. And let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Coach, you got back in it, and then 14 points in 69 seconds. What do you do to slow down the Colts and get back in this game?
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is we have to regroup. I think we're emotionally a little spent right now, and we just need to calm down and get back to our basics. We got to tackle, and we got to block better, and that's the bottom line. If you don't do that, it becomes a long day, and thus far it has in the second quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you. Greg.
Herman Edwards, the first-year coach of the New York Jets, looking at the short end of a 31-14 score. That's the end of the first half. The Colts lead the Jets. Jim Nantz will be along from New York with the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. So far, they scored the first touchdown of the day, but right now it's 31-14 in favor of the Indianapolis Colts. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms, and it was a Colts explosion in the second quarter, Phil.
It was, Greg, you won excitement, and you're excited about the opening game of the season. And the Colts, the offense, the strategy. I think that's the big thing we're overlooking, or we talked about, the strategy to come out, the no huddle, just to keep the Jets, to keep them frantic, to let the ball be in Peyton Manning's hand more, and that's why they scored so many points.
And I don't think this is a one-week happening. I think we'll see this for the rest of the season as far as the Colts are concerned. And how about those three guys who are the crux of the offense for the Indianapolis Colts? Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, Marvin Harrison. 180 yards throwing for Manning, the architect of that no-huddle offense, and he's the guy who makes things go, and it's exactly the way he wants it to go.
You know, I'm going back to the words that Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, said to us last night. He goes, in a nice way, he goes, he's just a high-energy guy. So you got to do something high-energy to make him happy. And you always want, as a coach, your job is to to take advantage of your players, their personnel, or what their abilities are. And they have absolutely done that here in the first half.
And the Colts get the football to start the second half. From the 1-yard line, it's Wilkins. And Wilkins straight up the middle, across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. And let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. Jim Moore obviously very pleased. Most pleased, he said, about the way his team keeps coming back, citing Terrence Wilkins on that fumble and then the punt return for a touchdown. And Phil, I mentioned about how aggressive this team has been, and he said, you know, you're right. This is about as aggressive as we've ever been, and we're going to do more of it in the second half. Back to you.
Well, that was going to be my first question. Will they come out and still keep the same pace of play? If they don't, I think it would be a major mistake, but you answered that question, Armin.
From the 35-yard line. James cuts it back, but right there to meet him on the cutback are Damian Robinson and Marvin Jones.
Right away, you see a different Jet defense. The safety, Damian Robinson, up to the line of scrimmage. So they're going to try to take away Edgerrin James on first down by putting an extra guy up on the line of scrimmage.
Manning down the seam, intended for Pollard and broken up by Damian Robinson, who read the play all the way.
Wow, two plays, Damian Robinson the main guy in both of them, and that's what you have to stop when you're playing the Colts. Their tight ends can get up the field very fast, and especially Marcus Pollard. And boy, that's a nice play by Robinson.
Damian Robinson in his 5th season, the first 4 with Tampa, so Herman Edwards knows him well. And they hope to stop that revolving door at the safety position. Manning from the shotgun with time running out on the play clock, and he's going to call a timeout here. Yeah, Peyton just doesn't know what to do when he's got to huddle up, does he? 14:23 to play. 3rd quarter. He'll come over and chat a bit with Tom Moore. We'll be back right after this. Back to the action, and Manning in the shotgun. Over the middle, intercepted. Marcus Coleman down the sideline. Still on his feet to the 20, dragged down at the 18-yard line. Peyton Manning made the tackle.
What happens? Peyton Manning tries to anticipate that his receiver is going to come in the hole. Terrence Wilkins does not get in there quick enough. He overthrows. Marcus Coleman makes a nice interception. But again, pressure on the quarterback. The play took a little too long. So when a quarterback has to anticipate a little too much, the room for error widens greatly. And that time, that's why the throw was off target.
So the defense with a jump start here in the second half. Testaverde looks, throws, incomplete, intended for the tight end, Anthony Beck. So Testaverde wanted it all at once, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, the Jets a couple times today when they've been given opportunities, they're trying to go for the home run to get some scores, but the Colts, that time Marcus Washington fast enough to run down the field with the tight end. He is not open.
Herman Edwards coaching on the sideline, talking to his defense. Richie Anderson, left side, blocking in front of him. Inside the 15 to the 10-yard line, looks to be about a yard short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
When the Jets line up and run it straight ahead, not great success. But again, look, fake it one way, come back the other. Ryan Young leading the way, and no Colts. Where are the Colt defenders? Anytime there's been action away, they overcommit, and the Jets run the other way and get big yards.
Third and 1.
More success to the left side running for the Jets.
Martin, first down to the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. Chad Bratsky has bruised ribs. His return is questionable. So that takes Bratsky off the front line of the defensive unit.
You know, last year the Jets running game, it was about draw plays, for lack of better words, a lot of tricks. This year we've seen some misdirections, but Paul Hackett, the new coordinator, they're going to line up and run the football at you a lot. They have a good offensive line and they can have success doing that.
On 1st and goal, Martin to the 5 and batted out of bounds at the 4. Mike Peterson and Chad Cota combining for the hit.
Did you see Rob Morris on the outside that time? Curtis Martin is right in front of him, and Rob Morris cannot get a hand on him. And, you know, it's not demeaning Rob Morris. There's a lot of people been in that situation. There he is from BYU, got hurt last year, missed quite a bit of the season. First-round draft pick last year. Now the starting middle linebacker for the Colts.
Played 7 games before rupturing a quad tendon in his right leg. 2nd and goal from the 4. Martin. Not much there. Brad Cioli again. Big number 99 has been just that big on that side of the defensive line.
Now, you know, Greg, you saw that. The Jets were in backs on one on each side. I think the hardest thing to do in the National Football League is for a runner to get the football on one side and travel across the formation that time like Curtis Martin did. Defenses are too good. The players are too physical. They'll run you down before you can get any yards up the field.
3rd and goal. No one in the backfield behind Testaverde. He rolls, throws, incomplete at the 2-yard line. Mike Peterson with the hit and preventing Curtis Martin from making the reception.
Well, the people that Paul Hackett learned this offense from, Curtis Martin is in the slot. He's the inside receiver. And one thing, all the coaches, Bill Walsh, Paul Hackett, all the disciples of this system love to sprint the quarterback to the right and throw to that receiver, but the Colts knew that and they covered it well.
And Mike Peterson showing just how quick the Colts have gotten at that linebacker position. 22-yard field goal attempt from John Hall out of the hold by Tupa is good. So the Jets can't get the ball into the end zone. They settle for the field goal. 31-17 Indy, 11:27 to play in the 3rd. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison anxious to get the football back. As John Hall kicks it away, Colts have turned the ball over 3 times. Lead 31-17. Dominic Rhodes will bring it out of the end zone. 15, 20, tripped up, falls forward to the 25-yard line. 27-yard return. Joe Todd makes the stop. And
for all the marbles.
I guess I'm going to have to be very explicit this season.
Oh, it would help. I can't sit here and interpret what everything you're saying.
You have your own problems.
That's a lot of them. That's exactly right.
Manning from the 25. Play fake. Throw. Has his man, and that's Pathan. He was the underneath receiver on the far side, and Manning hit him for the 1st down.
Now, there's some of that play action we haven't seen much of so far today from the Colts. But what did Peyton Manning say? The difference in their play action game this year over last year's will be when he looks way down the field. Last year he would throw it. This year he says, I have some short receivers to throw to in case those guys down the field are not open.
Pathan with a career high 84 yards receiving today. On the right side, change across midfield and into Jets territory. Jones and Ferrier with the stop. 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. There's Tom Moore. We talking about Peyton Manning. It was an interesting offseason for Peyton. He got married.
Yes, he did get married.
He's a newlywed. Now Ashley Manning continuing to cheer on her husband. 2nd and 3. Manning throws this side, and there is a wide open Terrence Wilkins. Wilkins inside the 40.
Well, I was going to say, Greg, I want to say, well, here we go again. The Jets get some points off the turnover, and here come the Colts right back down the field. And you know, if you're a Jet defender, you got to be a little gun shy down the field. So Marcus Coleman trying to protect the inside long passing game and leaves Terrence Wilkins wide open underneath.
You hear about offenses wanting to attack the defense, and these Colts do just that. James hit first by John Abraham.
See, you know, Greg, a lot of teams will not even try this for a lot of reasons. One, they don't have the players, the quality of the Colts offense, but coaches, you know, too many things can go wrong. So coaches get scared of that because they're worried about mistakes. And when you play at this pace, you know what? You are going to make some mistakes on offense, but the Colts work so hard at it, they're betting that they're going to make more plays against you than you can against them.
Now we get a whistle. Peyton Manning pleading his case to Perry Havener, the referee.
All the replay button, that's what it is. Yeah, it goes off again. I guess when Jim Mora moves, yeah, that's what he's saying. When I bend over, this thing's going off. Did you see his face?
Yes. Of course, if the Jets had anything to do with it, they'd be pushing it all the time here. Anything to slow down this offense. Yeah, Jim Moore is still checking his equipment.
I was going to say,
Manning readjusting Edgerrin James, and now the Jet defense shifting. Manning over the middle. James inside the 30, looking for first down yardage, and he is right at the first down marker.
You know, look at the Jet defense. Just watch them. Everybody hands on their hip, looking to the sideline, getting the call. Energy gone. You know, no enthusiasm.
Let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. Just to add to what you and Phil are saying up in the booth, absolutely here on the field, looking at the Jets defense, worn down, worn out, and more than a bit dispirited at the moment. You can really tell that they're just tired of playing catch-up with Peyton Manning. Back to you.
Yeah, this is one of those rare breathers for them as we get a measurement.
But now they, you know, Armin, as we talk about that and say it, the Jets now trying to start to substitute some of their defensive linemen, because that's the worst part. You know, defensive linemen, think about it, trying to rush a passer. They are just fighting those offensive linemen, putting all that energy into it, and you do it 2 or 3 times, you're out of gas. I don't care who you are.
Christian Peter, subjectively, of course, speaking, but still told us last night he thinks defensive tackle is the toughest position to play in football.
Well, besides the quarterback, I think it maybe is the second hardest thing to learn where all these offensive linemen, where they're going to hit you from, double teaming you, cutting your legs, and
because you know you're going to get hit.
You are going to get hit at least twice every play.
3rd and inches for Manning and the Colts. James, first down to the 25. He picked up 3 in that offensive line, again getting the job done for Indianapolis.
You know, it's kind of a desperation time for the Jets defense. They have to stop them here. A touchdown, 38 to, that's 3 touchdowns down they would be, and I don't know if they're capable of scoring 3 touchdowns.
Edgerrin James, 109 rushing yards on the day. Pump fake, throws, all alone is Pathan. And Pathan to the 15-yard line. That time, Peyton Manning called signals, but the snap didn't come until he tapped his center.
Yeah, he's got all the motions, but if we get a chance, just watch what happens. Manning's going to fake to this receiver down here, and then watch how wide open the short receiver is. Pump fake down the field. Look at that. You have to go back and honor it, and that's why you see on your TV screen these receivers are wide open.
2nd and short yardage.
See, I don't know if he's really changing the play or just giving the defense a bunch of stuff to think about.
Quick pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Shane Burton.
He's too tired to get off the line of scrimmage to stand there and jump. But I know we're telling you a lot about the Colts, but this is pretty special stuff they're doing. The Colts, and Tom Moore says, it's about 50-50 when he's at the line of scrimmage. They got dummy calls. They got fake dummy calls. I've never heard so much stuff in my life when he was telling us all the different signals they have at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and short yardage, and this time Edgerrin James bounces off of a would-be tackler and gets the first down. Number 51, James Darling, pounding the turf. He had his man and he lost him.
Do you think that he could have missed this tackle because it's fatigue? You've been out there, you're fighting, and of course Edgerrin James is a terrific running back, but fatigue has to be part of the problem. Tackling. You heard Herman Edwards at halftime. We got to tackle better.
22 missed tackles in all by the Jets today. James trying to find a hole inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, all you got to do is just go out there and wait, and one opens up for you. And that time it's Larry Moore coming out. The Indy offensive line has been just outstanding. We spend so much time talking about the superstars, we forget what it's really about, and that's those guys up front.
And the Jets call a timeout as Peyton is about to begin the 11th play of this drive, and Ted Cottrell Ted's a little short of going out there himself. 5:49 to play in the 3rd. See that Edgerrin James is redeeming himself well from previous games against the New York Jets. 120 yards rushing today. He only had 15 in the first quarter. Manning still has it, throws, touchdown Pollard.
A screen, or what do you want to say, fake it. The Pollard came from the backside, came underneath the defense. The defense is blitzing. Mo Lewis comes up the field, and there is nobody there to make the tackle. Terrific design and play. Watch Pollard in motion, comes underneath. Who's covering? Damian Robinson has no chance. He's got to fight his way through the line of scrimmage and about 7 or 8 of his own players to cover Marcus Pollard.
Vanderjagt's extra point is good. 5:46 to play here in the 3rd. And the Colts lead is now 38-17. Marcus Pollard from Bradley University, loved basketball, stuffs one home here. And we've got it right here today.
I could have never said that word.
Here's Chad Morton inside his 5-yard line. 25. And boy, is he explosive. Chad Morton all the way out to the 36-yard line. A return of 32 yards on the play. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS runs out doubleheader action. The Broncos battle the Colts. The Bengals take on the Titans in the late game. We'll be in Oakland, where the Raiders roll out the unwelcome mat for the New York Jets. Check your local listing for these and other games, beginning with Jim, Randy, Mike, Jerry, and Marcus on the NFL today. Go to NFL.com, the official source for all your NFL information. Your AOL keyword is NFL.com. Jets looking for a spark. 5:36 to play here in the 3rd. Deep drop for Testaverde, and he throws. Krebet pulls him in at midfield. First catch of the day for Wayne Krebet. He's out of bounds inside the Indianapolis 45-yard line.
Wayne Krebet, the thing that always, when you meet him, you see that he's not real tall. But watch him when Vinny Testaverde throws this football to the outside. He goes up with 2 hands, and it's just snatch it down. And when you shake his hand, you realize why he can catch the football so well down the field or anywhere, because he has tremendously strong hands.
That's only the 2nd catch by a Jets wide receiver today. The other was the touchdown to Lavernius Cole.
Where were they going to get time to catch a ball? The Colts have had the ball the whole game, though, Greg.
Screen to the other side, Curtis Martin. And Martin inside the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5, and it's 2nd and 5.
You know, the Jets, we've talked about when you're 3 touchdowns down, and I don't know, you can't think that you're going to shut the Colts out the rest of the way from points. You got to start being aggressive on offense, so it's time to drop back and throw it.
Indianapolis offense has kept that Jet defense on the field seemingly all day long. Testaverde flips it out. Nice grab by Martin. Changes direction inside the 35 and may have enough for a first down.
Well, it's a good job. The Jets, you're down 21 points. You're looking for big plays. They run a play action pass that sends the receivers down the field. The Colts playing smart, cover them downfield, make you throw it short.
We're going to have a measurement here for the first down. Let's go back and look at Curtis Martin's grab.
Yeah, nice little soft toss, one-hand catch. That's not bad, is it? Curtis Martin. As I read something in the paper the other day, what do you think about that? The draft picks that the Jets gave away to the New England Patriots years ago for Curtis Martin. Has it been worth it? About 6 times over.
And then some.
He has turned out to be the most important player of this franchise for the last few years. Durable, good person.
You look at those numbers, consider this. Only Barry Sanders and Eric Dickerson with more consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
My favorite Martin. I get it. I used to like that. But see, unless you're like our age, you can't remember my favorite Martian, can you?
Refresh my memory.
Yeah, okay. How about I don't? I'll tell you later.
3rd and short for Testaverde and the Jets. Martin has the first down, straight up the middle. First down for the Jets. All right, Jim, and Phil and Armin and I will be out in Oakland next week as these Jets travel out there to take on the Raiders.
Can we do that game and the Denver-Indy game both in the same way? Because that would be really nice. I would like that.
Martin. And Martin inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Peterson, Cota in on the stop.
Well, that's got to be the difference in the Colts defense this year. You see it. Guys like Mike Peterson, speed, can make plays. Even when you're not in the right defense, even if you get fooled as a player, you still have the athletic ability to overcome that and make the play when the guy comes at you.
We've talked about this earlier, Phil, all of the comments about the Indianapolis defense over the last few seasons. And Jim Mora is probably going to enjoy answering some questions about the defense after today. So far. And Testaverde doesn't like what he sees, calls a timeout. He was running out of time on the play clock.
Charge, timeout.
And so Testaverde burns the second Jets timeout. He sees 1 second remaining, has to call timeout, and we'll be back. On 2nd and 7. Here's Curtis Martin. And Martin straight ahead to the 22-yard line. Josh Williams, the second-year defensive tackle out of Michigan.
Well, let's take a look at Mike Peterson, number 52, in the middle of your screen. Kevin Mawai, the center, comes out. Whoa, the umpire gets in the way. And Kevin Mawai says, well, he turns around and just takes a lick at somebody else.
Now, that umpire is Tom Abbott. Now, it's one thing if you have experience in other areas of the game of football. If you're in the NFL, you're caught up in between those guys. I bet it sets your heart to thumping a little bit. Martin cuts it back inside the 20-yard line. And that'll be a first down for the Jets. One thing the Jets and Curtis Martin are doing with the ball on the ground is making sure that Peyton Manning isn't back on the field.
Yeah, you know, you got to be fairly impressed with what the Jets are doing with their running game today. They are being patient in a situation like this, and they're productive too, running the football. A lot of imagination so far in this game from the running game. We've seen it.
Testaverde on first down. Out of the backfield is Richie Anderson. Inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. And that'll be another first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Jets.
Well, you hear it so much, you know, when you keep running the football and then Vinny Testaverde fakes it. That's why Richie Anderson's out there wide open, because the linebackers who have him in man-to-man coverage are trying to stop the run. And it was Rob Morris, the middle linebacker, who had him.
40 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and goal, Jets. trying to jump back into this thing as the fourth quarter approaches. Martin, and Martin to the 5. And that likely will be the final play here in the third quarter. The fans at this end disappointed. The fans at the other end ecstatic as time winds down. And as we go to the other end of the field, it'll be second and goal from the 5. That is the end of the third quarter with the score. The Colts 38 and the Jets 17. We'll come back to the Meadowlands after this message and a word from your local station. 38-17, Colts with the lead. Jets second and goal from their own 5-yard line. Testaverde calling signals. Play fake on the roll. Finney throws, touchdown. Richie Anderson, a 5-yard touchdown, pulls the Jets a bit closer.
Oh, what a good job by Vinny Testaverde. He holds up. Watch him. Watch what he does to Mike Peterson, number 52. He keeps moving. He keeps moving. Now they think he's going to run. Mike Peterson leaves Richie Anderson, and Testaverde throws behind him for the touchdown.
John Hall on to kick the extra point out of Tom Tupa's hold. And it is good. So Testaverde engineers a 10-play, 64-yard drive, 38-24, Colts. The Jets reach the end zone, but it takes almost 6 minutes off the clock. Still, with 14:56 to play, they're down 38-24. Hall to kick it away. Terrence Wilkins and Dominic Rhodes are deep for the Colts. That's the most foot into a kick we've seen today. This one bouncing into the end zone, and then it goes out. And Phil Simms talking about how that last touchdown looked familiar.
Watch Richie Anderson come underneath, and then watch Mike Peterson, number 52. I'm sorry, there's Richie. Comes underneath. He's covered. And Mike Peterson says, oh, I'm going to come up and tackle Testaverde. But a lot of ways to skin a cat. Look at the Colts. Marcus Pollard is Richie Anderson now. He's just on the line of scrimmage. He comes across, same play action fake, comes underneath, throw to him. Really the exact same play, just two different formations and different personnel.
Lots of ways to skin a cat.
Yeah, well, you know, everybody knows that saying, don't they?
14:50 to play. Peyton Manning back to work on offense. Play fake, and down he goes. John Abraham.
Well, that's a name you have not said many times today, but John Abraham, hey, been on the bench. The long drive for the Jets got him rested up on the outside, and look who he's blocking against. And that is a big mistake by Marcus Pollard. And here's why. Look, Tarek Glenn has nobody to block, so Marcus Pollard should not let him get outside. He had help on the inside.
These teams tied at 20 sacks allowed last year, lowest in the NFL. Each has registered a sack today. James, running room, out to the 18-yard line.
Gosh, he's like a snake slithering through there. It looked like nothing, and he just kind of turns sideways and keeps running. And he is a special running back. Look at this, just moving always. Even when he cuts, he gains a yard.
Pickup of 8, and it is 3rd and 11.
This is a big play for the New York Jets team.
Manning needs the 30-yard line for a first down. Manning on the quarterback draw. Did he reach it? No, he's about a yard shy of the first down. Ray Mickens made the hit. And onto the field will come the punting team.
Wait, are they coming on? Yeah, here they come. Well, they hesitated.
Tarek Glenn standing there pointing, and Jim Moore is not going to go for that, not at this stage of the game.
Well, that's when you talk about difference makers, John Abraham just turned the whole emotions and momentum of this game around with that sack.
Chad Morton, Kevin Swain deep for the punt. Terrific punt by Hunter Smith. This is Morton bobbling at the 7. 20. Oh, look at the moves out to the 30-yard line. Mike Morton puts the stop on Chad Morton. 65-yard punt and a 24-yard return. Phil Simms has said it. John Abraham may have turned some Jets emotions around with a big sack. The Jets back to work now at their own 30-yard line. Testaverde gets back. First down yardage and more across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Josh Williams, the defensive tackle, coming back to make the stop, but a 17-yard pickup.
What a nice play to start a drive with. Anthony Becht stayed in the backfield and was blocking, and he waited and waited, and then when he released, nobody opened down the field. Testaverde drops it to him.
Becht's first reception of the day. Testaverde throws far side. Richie Anderson. Anderson reaches the 45-yard line of the Colts. A pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. And keep this in mind. Last season, in 9 of their 16 games, the Jets trailed at one time or another by double-digit margins. Came back to win 3 of those.
Well, there is no doubt the crowd's re-energized and the Jet offense got a little more pep to it. And the Colts defense, they're trying to figure out what to do. Should we be aggressive here, or should we play real safe and hope the Jets make a mistake and keep themselves from scoring? Blitz.
On 2nd and short, the pass is complete. Curtis Martin is wrestled down just short of the 35-yard line. It's a Jet first down. Mike Peterson with the tackle.
I don't know if you blitz this Jets offense. A veteran offensive line that's been together 3 years. A quarterback that's almost impossible to sack anyway, even when you get pressure on him. He'll throw it away or find a receiver quick down the field. And so it's a tough decision, or tough decisions, for Vic Fangio to make.
First down at the Colt 36. 8 straight completions for Testaverde. They get 9. Back 25 to the 21-yard line. Another first down.
And Greg, just to illustrate the point that why you just can't catch the Jets off guard because they're a veteran team. A corner blitz, very rare in the NFL. Watch what happens. It comes, the Jets see it. Jason Fabini all over it. Anthony Becht now. Nobody in the backside to tackle him, and he picks up extra yards. And that is terrific play by the left tackle, Jason Fabini.
How long did we talk with Tom Moore last night where he says the success of a play is all about protection?
Protect that quarterback, and both teams do it extremely well.
Testaverde throws. It is incomplete at the goal line. Matthew Hatchett, the intended receiver, and Jeff Burris was the one who almost came up with the ball. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Wow. Well, the Colts, if nothing else, they're going to be an exciting team to cover this year. And the Jets, too. I think that we can see why the Jets, they have a chance to be good. They got to get some parts of their defense straightened out. But the offense, they protect the quarterback, they run the football well, and the quarterback can throw it pretty good, too.
On the draw, Martin breaks left. Penalty marker is down as Martin reaches the 10-yard line. And let's check the rare yellow flag today.
Boy, the backside of the Colts defense, and we have a hold, just gets wiped out sometimes. Is that our first holding call today?
I believe so. See, we've had a delay of game. A false start.
Holding number 69 on the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
That's
Replay,
left tackle
second down.
Jason Fabini.
Let's watch Jason Fabini and see if we can pick up the hold. Here he is. Watch his left arm. And I'm looking and I'm looking, and it is not. I just got to tell you, that is not holding. That hand is inside the defender's shoulders. He locked it on there. He got a good grip, and he took him down on the ground. In my definition of what I think a holding is, that was not it.
So the Jets now with a 2nd and 20. With the screen, this side, Anderson with a blocker, cuts inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and he gets most of it back.
You know, when you look at what the Jets are doing on offense, who's catching the balls today? What players? Curtis Martin's catching a few passes, Richie Anderson, and they are just utilizing their backs in the passing game. And one of the reasons why I think they're doing it too, the Colts, look who's catching the passes. Running backs 11. Thank you. So I was right.
Which is not so different from last season, is it?
You got young linebackers for the Colts. They're not used to covering man-to-man down the field, so the Jets are taking advantage of it.
Testaverde needs to reach the 11-yard line for a first down. The pitch to Martin. Martin cuts it inside. Breaking outside is a first down at the 10-yard line.
Wow. I say wow because you know what? You're down 2 touchdowns. It's 3rd and 9. I'll tell you, it takes some guts to call this running play because this is the kind of stuff everybody would complain about. But it's a terrific formation for the Jets, something they did a lot of last year, pitching the ball to Curtis Martin with 3 receivers or tight ends in front of him. They all make good blocks.
Clock continues to move. We're under 8 minutes to play for the game. Jets have 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Testaverde throws, complete to Beck, and Beck is stood up and run out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Marcus Washington.
I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? The Colts defense can say, hey, we know what the Jets feel like, their defense. We're out here in the field and 2 long drives and we're tired. But that was a good play by Marcus Washington. Again, you could see the speed and the power that he has to take a possible 7 or 8 yard gain and just keep it to 2 or 3 yards.
Rob Larry.
James Durth is in at tight end. Testaverde throws inside the 5-yard line, and that is complete to about the 2. Richie Anderson with the fine catch.
Man, what a job by the Jets. What a job. Reloads, still throws a perfect spiral. Nice catch in traffic. And it all starts. What protection in Testaverde.
And if I'm Vic Fangio, I'm wondering, are the Jets going to throw the ball here, or are they going to run it?
Look at Testaverde, 12 of 15. Whatever question marks you have about an older quarterback, he's answering right from the start again this year.
Double tight end. Martin hit hard by Marcus Washington.
Whew. This is it. It's the game right here. This is the game. The Jets only got 1 timeout, so you can't take a timeout to talk this over.
We've just gone under the 6-minute mark, and Testaverde and company are on the field.
So you see Testaverde looking down. He's only got about 15 or 20 plays, but they're plays that the formation, he had a hard time learning, so he looks at that list to figure out the formation.
David Laverne, an offensive lineman, is in the backfield to block. Lost the football, and the Colts have it. Chucky with Corey on the run, chased by Testaverde. Testaverde still trying to corral him. He's still going. Chucky with Corey, a 280-pound tight end, has gone for the touchdown. David Laverne, a reserve offensive lineman, in to block, and he's the one who made contact.
Let's see what happens. Testaverde going with the fake. Laverne is worried about getting to his man and cuts it too close to the quarterback and runs into Testaverde.
Chucky Wakori, I would be willing to bet he hasn't run this far in training camp.
Hey, look, he tried to lateral that football about 3 times, but he couldn't get rid of it. And then finally, he goes for the touchdown.
The extra point is up and good, and there is a turnaround that'll seal this game for the Colts.
Now, I don't know if Curtis Martin's going to make it anyway, but look at David Laverne. Too tight, runs into Testaverde, causes the fumble.
The longest return of a fumble for a touchdown in Colts history belongs to that young man, Chucky Wakori.
Well, the game was, I think, probably over if Curtis Martin didn't score there. He was not going to score even if there wasn't a fumble, and we'll give a chance to show you a replay. Chucky Wakori is absolutely going to take Curtis Martin down in the backfield for a loss. But the fumble was just, that was a nice surprise for him.
You know he's going to go back to Indianapolis and demand to be given Edgerrin James' slot.
Yeah, right.
From the 4, Chad Morton. And Morton slips down at the 19-yard line. Nick Harper will get credit for the tackle. What a turnaround. What a day for Chucky Wakori. 5:08 to play here in the fourth quarter, and a tremendous turnaround. Vinny Testaverde is finished for the day, 17 of 25, 175 yards and a couple of touchdowns. But he will be asked over and over about the ball that was nudged out of his hand. Chad Pennington is quarterback now, as the Jets go with 5 wide receivers. Quick pass to the far side, incomplete, intended for Lamont Jordan. And let's go back to that play again.
Let's look at it, Greg. Over here's Wakori. He is being blocked by Anthony Beck, and it doesn't matter if there's a fumble or not. Watch, he gets in the backfield. Curtis Martin is not even going to get close to getting the touchdown or first anything. And now it's just Testaverde, him against the Colts. He's hoping somebody comes around to help him. Nobody gets there. And from experience, look at this, and David Laverne just gets so close to the quarterback, that causes the fumble. Wakori unblocked, Anthony Beck misses him, and then he doesn't know what to do. Here, he's getting ready to give it up there. He keeps it.
And Chucky makes it to the end zone. Let's go down to Armin. Armin.
Greg, as expected, Wakori was just mobbed on the sidelines and hugged by his teammates. Got a couple of ice showers, but I got to believe the reception he may get from Jim Mora may be the best one. As you remember last night, Mora told us he could not pronounce Wakori's last name. Kept calling him Chucky, and had to actually ask Craig Kelly, their PR director, how to pronounce it. So I think Chucky's earned the right to have Jim call him now.
Yeah, that's right.
We were talking about, this goes all the way back to last year, where Jim Mora really did. In fact, last night he said, how do you guys say it?
Yeah, that's right. He was asking us, because if you look at his name, NW, it's Wakori.
It's Chucky Wakori.
Chucky Wakori actually walked up to Jim Mora, I guess on Friday, and says, can I wear shorts on the trip this week? And Jim Mora goes, Chucky, come on, you know you can't do that. And Chucky looks at Jim Mora and says, well, I've never been on a road trip with the team yet. This is his first road trip as an Indianapolis Colt. So he didn't know what the dress code was, and you know, Jim Mora had a good laugh over that, but I think he might learn how to pronounce that name.
Pennington with a deep drop throws, and that is complete, and a fine catch by Anthony Beck, the tight end, out across the 40 to the 43 or 44-yard line. I guarantee you the coach is going to know how to pronounce Chucky's name by the time he gets back to Indy tonight.
And you know, the other thing, that was a spectacular catch by Anthony Beck that time. Turned all the way around, lays out, and gets both hands on the football, makes the catch.
Clock continues to move. 4:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. Pennington on the move, throws it away. Think about the implications, though. 4th down. If the Jets score, they move to within a touchdown.
Yes, the game, the Jets showed tremendous patience, ran the football, took a few shots throwing the football, and actually got themselves back in a position where they could have a chance to tie the game or whatever down at the end. But the missed block was going to stop them from winning this game anyway.
Second and 10. This is Jordan. And Jordan is brought down by Ellis Johnson and Rob Morris.
Now, you know, the game, they're down, the Jets 21 points, and right away, Herman Edwards puts in Chad Pennington, Gerald Soule, and Lamont Jordan. So he wants to get some of his young, skilled players. Hey, first game, get them some repetitions, because somewhere in the season, he's going to need one or all of them to step up and do a good job.
Well, you know, Herman Edwards was looking for a better outcome than this on his first day as a head coach of the New York Jets. His mom on hand, his son on the sidelines. Pennington hit hard as he got rid of the football. Guess who?
Here you go.
Chucky Wakori.
Well, Jim Morris said he might be or is the best athlete of all the defensive linemen we have. So he's learning how to play football, finally getting the chance, and boy, I'd say he's taking advantage of it today. But, you know, going back to Herman Edwards, the Jets start with the Indianapolis Colts. Next week they got the Oakland Raiders. Then they go to New England. And we were talking to him about the first game, how important it is to get off to a 1-0 start. And he goes, look, I'm not putting that kind of pressure on my team. I look at the season. There's 4 seasons, 4 games in each one of them, and we just want to do well in the first 4 games.
Pennington with time this time and throws, and it is that caught? No, it's incomplete. Bashir, the rookie, hoping that he would be credited for his first interception. He was not. These Colts, by the way, are looking at the 3rd toughest schedule in the NFL this year.
Well, they did well last year. Just the fact that they got to play the Denver Broncos next week, Greg, their own division is tough. And the thing is, the Colts, the defense, their defense did struggle today some. Their offense kept them off the field for such long periods of time. It helped them, but it is young, so you can see that physically they're better. Now can they start getting their assignments down and show better results on the field?
A year ago, the Jets went through the month of September undefeated. Not so this year. Edgerrin James to the 40-yard line. And our NFL interactive poll question for you today. Which AFC team will have the most regular season wins in 2001? Miami, Indianapolis, Baltimore, Tennessee, Denver, or Oakland? Or choose another team. Log on. Cast your vote at NFL.com.
I'll take them all. You can make a case in point for every one of them.
You bet.
That might be the problem in the AFC this year. There are so many good teams, I think, that it's going to be hard to post a great record because you just can't play your best every week.
And with that in mind, I cannot imagine that we will enter into the month of December with anything set in stone.
Yeah, you're right, Greg.
As far as the postseason is concerned.
I think the thing you always know, there's about 8 teams in the AFC that I think really could be special. Which 2 or 3 of them are going to have the really disappointing year? They're not going to live up to even close to the expectations the fans themselves have of what they're going to do.
The 2-minute warning. Colts with a 45-24 lead on the New York Jets. We'll come back for the last 2 minutes after this. Keyword CBS Sports Line. Edgerrin James on the carry, and the clock will continue to move. Interesting that both these teams are minus their first-round draft picks, who are wide receivers and who are the best of friends, Santana Moss and Reggie Wayne, playing at the University of Miami a year ago. Moss was selected 16th overall, and Reggie Wayne was picked 30th overall.
Both going to have big impacts on their teams, I think, before the year's out, Greg. We heard Jim Moore talking about Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning. Well, he's going to be some addition to this receiving core. And Santana Moss, I'm excited to wait. I'm excited to see him come back to the Jets and what he can do.
Play clock running down to 2-1, and the Colts are going to take the delay of game. And while we have a moment, the executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. The coordinating director is Larry Cavallina. Today's game produced by Mark Wolf. The senior producer of the NFL Today is Eric Mann, and the director is Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. The associate directors of today's game, Steve Karasik and Sellers Shai. Broadcast associates Ryan Galvin and John Paquette. And technical manager Pete Callander. Technical director Scott Sickler. Our audio supervisor Phil Adler, and our production managers Rainey McHenry and Lisa Kyle. This ball will bounce into the end zone for the touchback. And so the Jets will take over at their own 20-yard line with 1:04 to play. And as you look at some of the scores from around the NFL today, a couple of surprises up there.
Oh, I'd say there's quite a few. That's not like a huge surprise. Can anybody stop Corey Dillon running the football? He had a terrific preseason.
New Orleans goes into Buffalo, which is certainly easier to go into Buffalo in September than it is in December.
Kansas City tough. Trying to sneak a victory from Oakland early in the year.
Cleveland tough at home. Headed for overtime, it appears. Chad Pennington down the sideline. That is it intercepted? No, it's out of bounds. Number 25, Nick Harper, the first-year cornerback out of Fort Valley State, made the interception but didn't come down in bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I'd say the one you're looking at, that's a pretty good surprise. Carolina winning. Dallas defense, they're pretty good on defense.
Green Bay a winner at home. It's going to be fun. It always is.
Listen, it's going to be a terrific year. If you're a fan of this league, it's going to be fun to watch the ups and downs and how it goes.
Lamont Jordan bouncing off tacklers and getting some yardage across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and we have 50 seconds to play. 7-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 3. Maybe Chucky Wakori gets a seat up front on the plane tonight.
I don't think so. But Lamont Jordan, you know, it's good. It really is, Greg. This is important that these young guys kind of get this first game action, real game action out of the way, especially for Lamont Jordan and the backup quarterback, Chad Pennington.
Jordan across the 35. Some hard hitting going on in these final seconds. Corey Bird makes the stop, and with that, Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts will ring up an opening day victory, and yet again on the road. The Colts have now won 9 of the last 12 against the Jets here in the Meadowlands. And they start off with a victory by a score of 45-24, and they did it in every way possible. Thought it was fun.
Yeah, they did. Special teams, defense made a couple big plays for the Indianapolis Colts today, but you know, the one constant they do have, Greg, and it showed up again today.